Hello everybody and welcome back to Fazbear Acid. On today's edition of FNAF merch character profiles, we'll be taking a look at the merchandise history of probably mine and many others' favorite all-time group of animatronics, the Withereds. Withered Freddy, Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, Withered Foxy, and Withered Golden Freddy, focusing on plushies and figures specifically. And I'm willing to bet that some of these entries will surprise a lot of you, because there is actually quite a bit of Withered merchandise that has flown under the radar, some that you may not even realize were made. So with all that being said, let's take a look at the plushie and figure merchandise history of the Withered animatronics. Interestingly enough, the first pieces of Withered merchandise were included amongst the very first pieces of FNAF figures and plushies ever. The 2015 figural and plush collector clips, made by Sanchi and distributed by Fat Mojo, included Withered Golden Freddy in both forms, and Withered Foxy in the figure form. Now, it's really weird and unclear why these two were included in this line. According to some sources, the clips were designed by a Japanese company by the name of Evolte, so they would have been the ones initially responsible. Honestly, part of me thinks that this was not intentional because you got Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and then randomly just Withered Foxy. I'm guessing that they just saw Withered Foxy and thought it was the same as regular Foxy, and that same logic applied with Golden Freddy. But there is no denying that the designs of these clips are that of the Withereds. On the backs of the packages, they are listed as just Foxy and Golden Freddy, so I think that gives credence towards that previous idea. And yeah, this clip is seemingly Withered Balloon Boy, so I guess that counts too. In 2016, the figural collector clips continued to be sold in stores, but with a difference. Through some boring licensing agreement stuff, the clips changed production companies, going from Sanchi to Just Toys. And Just Toys made some adjustments to the figures, most notably ditching Withered Balloon Boy for a normal Balloon Boy, and then adding a chase metallic version of the Golden Freddy clip, giving Withered Golden Freddy a new piece of merch. And the last bit of Just Toys merch released in 2016 was when they made this backpack hanger 3-pack exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con, which included a new metallic Withered Foxy clip. All of these collector clips are pretty easy to find and inexpensive. Sealed 2015 Sanchi packs are more uncommon for sure, but they won't hit your wallet hard if you come across one. But 2016 saw one more Withered animatronic get some attention, finally someone else other than Withered Foxy or Golden Freddy, and that was McFarlane's Backstage with Withered Chica construction sets. Not only one of the very first McFarlane FNAF sets in general as a part of Wave 1, but the first piece of Withered Chica merch. And what a way to kick that off, with a great and really creepy looking figure. 2017 saw very little Withered merchandise, with McFarlane releasing another awesome set, the parts and service with Withered Foxy alongside Shadow Freddy. And then a new merchandise company would try their hand at some Withered merchandise, with Funko releasing the 1 out of 24 GameStop exclusive Withered Bonnie Mystery Mini, making this the very first piece of Withered Bonnie merch. For some reason, it was released in the sister location plus FNAF 4 wave of minis, which is odd, but it is a really cool mini nonetheless. Very expensive nowadays and a definite grail for many. In 2018, there was an increase in Withered animatronic merch thankfully, starting with McFarlane again continuing their awesome FNAF line with 2 Withered sets, Paper Pals Party with Withered Bonnie, and the Party Wall with Withered Freddy. Finally, Withered Freddy gets a piece of merchandise. It was about time, Sadly, his set is kind of underwhelming compared to the other Withereds because they got pretty decently sized sets, and his is just a portion of a wall with some balloons, but I'm glad they at least made him. Better late than never, as they say. But along with his McFarlane set, Withered Bonnie was not done getting some merchandise love, as Funko released another figure of him, this being the Walmart exclusive Funko Pop. It is weird that Funko made 2 figures at this point for Withered Bonnie and just forgot about the rest of the group until later, but I guess they just really like Withered Bonnie, and hey, I'm not gonna complain about that because Withered Bonnie is one of, if not my favorite animatronic of all time. And I do think this Funko Pop is up there with Funko's best. Currently though, it is super expensive and a grail, just like the Mystery Mini. For the rest of 2018, we returned to just toys. Yes, they made more merch of their 2 favorite Withered animatronics, Withered Foxy and Withered Golden Freddy, a part of their Squish Me line, which as you probably figured are these little squeezable stress ball-like toys. Both animatronics were included in the normal variety and glow in the dark. Just like with the collector clips, they were also designed by that Japanese company, so that probably explains why this trend of Withered Foxy and Withered Golden Freddy being made under just toys continued. But at least here it makes more sense because you got a more FNAF 2 heavy lineup with Nightmare Cupcake for some reason. Interestingly enough though, on an early promo image for these toys, you can actually spot an unreleased Withered Bonnie Squish Me on the box, as well as an unreleased Balloon Boy and Freddy. I wonder if there are any prototypes of these lying around because that would be cool. 2019 was a sad year for Withered animatronic merch, as only 1 figure was released. However, it is a pretty notable one. It was McFarlane's office desk with Withered Golden Freddy. A really cool set, obviously, bringing that FNAF 2 custom night vibe with all those plushies on the desk, but it's notable because with this set being made, McFarlane officially became the first merch company to make a figure for each of the Withereds. Good on McFarlane for this, and it just makes me a little sadder that we no longer get sets from them. And as of now, all these McFarlane sets are really pricey, especially unopened packs. Now, following this, we would have to wait a really long time until we saw the Withereds get some attention once again. It wouldn't be until late 2023 when Hex came out with their first wave of Withered plushies. It included Withered Freddy, Withered Foxy, and Withered Bonnie. I think this first wave was a true home run. All these plushies are really well done and of course super unique as per the Hex style. The only thing though is that in my headcanon, Withered Bonnie's face had whiskers, but that's a conversation for another day. Alright, here we are, 2024, the undisputed year of Withered animatronic merchandise. Merch companies finally decided it was time to go full throttle with these characters after years of fans asking, and boy did they. We kick things off with youtooz, who released a full lineup of figures and plushies for the Withereds minus Withered Golden Freddy. The figures came out first and were on a limited release and sold out currently on the website, but the plushies are still up there. As usual with youtooz, the figures were all really great, and the plushies, well, they aren't bad. Withered Bonnie is the best in my opinion, with the other 3 just being okay. But all in all, it was awesome to see these guys get awesome, high quality merchandise yet again. Following this, Hex would release the remainder of their Withered wave, which included Withered Chica and Withered Golden Freddy, making Hex the second company to produce figures/toys of all the Withered animatronics. You'd think Funko or Just Toys would have been the ones to do this before a company like Hex, but interesting how things work out sometimes. Withered Chica is the weakest of the Hex plushies in my opinion. Not too crazy about her, but Withered Golden Freddy is really solid in my opinion. I'm just glad they didn't exclude him. This year also saw a pretty unexpected re-release that led to new Withered figures. Just Toys re-released the 2015 backpack hangers, but with a little twist. Amongst the figures to collect, there were new Chase variants, glow-in-the-dark and 24K gold plated. This resulted in a gold Withered Foxy and a glow-in-the-dark Withered Golden Freddy. Moving on, Funko decided it was finally time to give the Withereds their own mystery minis, with the release of the 10th anniversary mystery mini line. I think Funko did a really great job on all the minis in this line, introducing this new style and all. And this is especially the case with these Withered mystery minis. Withered Foxy and Chica are 1 out of 24, and Freddy and Bonnie are 1 out of 12. Now, a question for you. Which Withered Bonnie mystery mini is superior, the 2017 or the 2024? Funko did not stop making Withered merchandise though, because in late 2024, they released the Hot Topic exclusive Withered Golden Freddy, finally giving another Withered animatronic a Funko Pop, and they did a great job on this one. One of the best FNAF Funko Pops in recent memory to come out for sure. And lastly, for 2024, there was another merch company who sneaked in some Withered animatronics, Fat Mojo. In the Faz Fizzy Station line, both normal and flocked, Withered Golden Freddy yet again gets some love. Withered Golden Freddy really ruled 2024, didn't he? And now here we are in 2025, which has been a decent year for Withered merch so far. Kicking things off, we have a figure from a company who is new to making FNAF merch, Culture Fly. This year, they added FNAF to their Tiny Mites line, which are these little one-colored figures in these blind packs, sort of reminiscent of those tiny figures you'd get in a gumball machine, say at a Chinese restaurant entrance. Part of the FNAF wave, only one Withered animatronic was included, Withered Freddy. And the whole gimmick with these figures is that they are available in a variety of colors, so there are a few different Withered Freddy minifigs to collect. Despite not giving every Withered animatronic their own mystery mini, this wouldn't be the case when Funko dropped their next wave of Funko Pops, which finally completed the Withered lineup. That's right, Withered Bonnie, Freddy, Chica, Foxy all got common release pops. There were lots of mixed opinions on this wave. Most, and myself included, really thought that Withered Freddy was the standout here, while the weird looking Withered Chica and Foxy, who looks like he doesn't have any pants on, and the pretty lazy Withered Bonnie weren't as well received. Seriously, they just changed the eye color and raised his hand. But nevertheless, it is nice to finally have all the Withered animatronics in pop form. And with that, Funko becomes the third company to have made figures of every Withered animatronic. So there you have it, the history of Withered animatronic figures and plushies. Now in other categories of merch, the Withereds actually have a really good amount actually. Dog tags, cards, puzzles, clothes, there really is a lot out there, but of course figures and plushies are the most exciting, let's be honest. But looking ahead in the future, there is lots to be excited about for us Withered fans, because we already know that Withered figures by Jazzwares are on the way, and with the FNAF 2 movie on the horizon, I guarantee more will be made soon. Certainly Jazzwares plushies and maybe even jumbo Funko plushies? Possibly, please? So with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment down below, tell me what figures you have, what figures you want, and if any of these entries surprised you, or if I might have missed any, because there is always a possibility of that. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been fazbear Acid.